You can name your favorite colors. You know you like grain over gloss, quiet over loud, old photographs over new ones. So you call that your aesthetic. It isn't. That's your taste. And taste has never once made a portfolio cohesive. Style does. Here's the difference. And a diagnostic you can run on your own work in the next 10 minutes. Visual agencies don't talk about aesthetic. They separate three things: taste, the internal compass, what you are drawn to, what you reject; invisible, lives in your head; style, the visible pattern, what repeats across your output without you deciding it should; system, style, deliberately codified so it can be repeated on demand by you or someone else. Most self-taught photographers and designers get stuck between one and two. They have taste, they don't yet have a legible style. And almost nobody outside a studio ever reaches three, a system. Taste tells you what you like. It does not tell you what to do. Two photographers can both love solitude. One shoots empty rooms, pale color, distant subjects. The other shoots flash, saturation, crowding. Same emotional territory, opposite visual language. This is why copying a reference image never gives you someone else's style. You can copy the color grade, the composition, the lighting setup. You cannot copy the several thousand small decisions that produced it, because most of those decisions weren't conscious. They were taste, applied so many times it calcified into a habit. Which means style isn't found by looking harder at what you like. It's found by looking at what you have already made, repeatedly, without noticing. Agencies run your work through an audit before it goes to client. You can run the same audit on your own portfolio. 3 passes. Pass 1, consistency scan. Pull 15 of your strongest pieces. Ignore subject matter. Look only at framing distance, color temperature, amount of negative space, texture, grain, symmetry, asymmetry. Tag each image with 1-2 words per category. Patterns that show up in 70% of the set. That's your style, whether you intended it or not. Pass 2. The rejection list. Just as telling us what repeats is what you consistently cut. Too polished, too symmetrical, too literal, too clean. Write down 5 things you find yourself removing, cropping out, or refusing to shoot paint. That rejection list is taste operating in reverse, and it's often more honest than your stated preferences. Pass 3. The outside read. Send 3 people who know your work one message. Describe my visual style in 3 words. Don't overthink it. Ask them separately, not in a group. 9 words come back. Cluster them. Where they agree with each other and with your own audit, that's your legible style. Where they diverge from what you think your style is, that gap is actual insight. It usually means you're aiming at an aesthetic you admire, not the one you're producing. Once the pattern is named, an agency doesn't just admire it, it operationalizes it. That's the step most personal portfolios skip. To be more precise, that means writing down your pattern as constraints, not adjectives. Not moody and quiet, those are taste words, and they don't give you instructions. Instead, framing, color, space, texture. Constraints let you produce consistent new work on demand instead of waiting for inspiration to accidentally repeat itself. And they let a curator, an editor, or a client recognize your hand in a piece without your own name on it, which is the actual test of a style. One warning, because this is where most portfolios quietly go wrong. If your audit surfaces a pattern you don't actually see in your existing 15-20 pieces, a pattern you only want to see, borrowed from artists you admire, that's not your style yet. That's aspirational taste. It's fine to name it as a direction. It's not fine to submit it to a competition or client as your current visual identity, because the work won't back it up, and reviewers notice the mismatch before they notice anything else. The fix isn't to force the aspirational pattern into your next single piece. It's to shoot or make 10 more pieces deliberately inside the new constraint set. Then we run the audit. Style is never declared, it's measured after the fact from a body of work. So, 3 actions in order. Run the 3-pass audit this week on your last 20 pieces. Turn whatever repeats in 4-5 written constraints, not adjectives. Shoot or make your next series inside those constraints on purpose, then check whether the pattern held. That's the actual difference between a portfolio that reads as a person with good taste and one that reads as a person with a style. One is a collection, the other one is a signature. If you want, drop your 3 self-described words and your 3 outside read words in the comments. Thank you for attention. Bye.